Game week's finally here. What's the excitement level in the building with your team and the coaching staff?
Yeah, I'd say it's very high. We've just done a lot to get to this point. I'm just thrilled that the kids are going to get the opportunity to get out there and play. You're going to get 12 of these chances, and this one seems more important than maybe one we've ever had before, just because of what the kids have been through. And obviously, I don't have to restate all they've been through, but it's been a lot.
Did you think we were going to get here to this point this season?
If you remember, I told y'all on record that when Jordan, my son, coaches with the Saints, and I were discussing what I thought was going to happen, I said there's three entities that I felt like if they went down, they go down swinging. It'd be the National Football League, the SEC, and the state of Texas. And it just means a lot. A lot of dads, a lot of grandfathers, a lot of great-grandfathers. The relationship they have with their high school coach, football means a lot. The sport has saved a lot of men, and it bleeds deep into a lot of cultures. So I felt very confident those three groups would do their best to play, and so far that's been pretty true.
Thanks, Coach. I'll come back later.
Okay, Greg, you're up.
Jeff, how you doing?
Good morning, Greg.
Morning. What were your major takeaways from watching Texas State over the weekend? Anything jump out?
Yeah, they're much improved. You can tell Jake, Coach Spavital, has done a very good job with his kids. They believe in him, and it was a great ball game. I enjoyed watching it. Playmakers on both sides. They're a good football team, and I know they fell short, but anybody that watched the game could tell they're a vastly improved football team.
We've talked about how they sort of had the edge in practice time and being able to go through this game experience, but you guys have the advantage of being able to scout them and see what they want to do in a game situation. How do you sort of weigh those factors against each other, and who has the edge coming into this game?
Well, they definitely have the edge. I mean, they're going to their 14th game. They had 5 spring practices. They've had spring ball. They've just been with Coach Spavital longer than my kids have been with me. So there's no doubt they have the edge there. I would much rather have played a game and them have scouted me than I would not have played a game and have that advantage. But, yes, you are correct. They don't know exactly what we're going to do. They haven't seen us. They're not quite sure of our roster, but they're recruiting the same kids we are. They know our kids. We know their kids. So it's not like they don't know. They might not know the exact plays we're going to run, but or how we're going to do it, but they're going to know enough. The advantage is definitely on their part.
It feels like every year, but even more this year, there's certain opening game kinks that you have to work out, whether it's tackling or conditioning or special teams. What sort of areas do you think that might be in focus where you might be hurting just because of that lack of time?
Well, there's just no way with all the testing and all the stuff that's been going on that you can really just practice full speed live. We haven't had a lot of scrimmage situations. It's been a lot of thud, a lot of touch, tagging off. It'll be interesting to see how we take care of the football. What will our conditioning be like? Those two things, I think, will be the biggest unknowns in the game. What's our real physical conditioning, and how well we take care of the football.
We've sort of revisited this concept a couple of times, but in terms of how much of your offense and defense that you're able to get installed, now that we're on game week and you've had some time with a kind of a set depth chart and you know who your guys are, how much of the system are you prepared to go with? I know that's a hard question to answer, in terms of a quantity, but how comfortable are you with a certain set of your offense and defense?
It'll be very small. We've instructed all of our coaches that I want my kids to play free Saturday, and if we go down, I want it to be because we had too little offense, too little defense, too little special teams. but our kids played free. They played confident. And I don't want there to be confusion. I don't want them playing. I don't want paralysis by analysis. I want my kids turned loose. So I don't know that I can give you a percentage on that, Greg, but definitely way smaller than we'd like it to be. But I just think that's what's best for our kids to be able to play free Saturday.
Is that possible to expand through the season, or is just a few days between games not enough to really be adding to your system in that way?
No, we would hope to add each week. It's a very good point. I've always said the only reason you practice is so you can go play the game and mess it up and get it on video, and so you can fix it. So it's just one of those, nobody likes to say that, but it's the truth. It's really hard to duplicate game speed in practice. We're doing our best. Every coach in the country is doing their best to try to do that. But of all the years, I think it's harder this year than ever before.
Jeff, so along those lines, you guys scrimmaged or had your mock game this past Saturday. How did the team look? Do you feel like your team is ready to play a football game?
I don't know that any team's ever ready to play their first game. It's just one of those things you got to check off the box to get ready. So we're as ready as we're going to be. I've been a head coach now for my 16th year, and I think for the 16th time in a row, I've told my staff, we probably are not ready to go play football, but our kids need to go play football. In order for us to take the next step, we need to go play football. And I'm very open with my kids about this and transparent. It won't be beautiful Saturday, but I expect our effort to be perfect, our strain to be long, and we got to get the game to the fourth quarter and see if we can outlast them.
Is there anything different this week in terms of safety protocols or testing or number of tests? Is that the 3 tests, is that kick in this week, or what's different about this week?
Yeah, we have just been testing on Thursday, but now it's a Tuesday, a Thursday, and a Friday. So, what these kids have done to play football, what coaches have done, it's truly amazing. So it's not like it's some quick deal. I mean, you're talking about 2 hours of your day just in testing. So we'll spend 6 hours of our week this week just testing. So, and you got to go play a football game. And then there's the whole deal when you get there of social distancing and keeping your space, and just it's a tremendous love for the game in order for people to do all that they're doing to play.
Do you have any players that will not participate this week because of testing from last week?
Yes, sir, we do.
Can you tell us who those are?
No, sir, I cannot.
Okay.
Okay, Greg, you're up.
Yeah, sort of along those lines, Jeff, we saw, like with Texas State, for example, that the tight ends whole group was basically out. Are there like chunks of your roster that you think could be hit or that will be hit in that sort of way this week?
Yes, sir.
And I guess we'll learn more about that, when we get to game day. But in terms of through this week, is there a way to sort of like make contingency plans or to figure out how to work around that? What's the process like as a coach?
This whole season's been a contingency plan. But we still have test Tuesday. We have test Thursday. We have test Friday. So I'm not even being coy with y'all. It could change before Saturday. The ones that are back, you've got EKG tests that have to go on now. We're waiting on results from other tests to come back. We don't know what it literally, all those orders you're going to see on the depth chart, it's because we don't really know. Coach Spavital lived it last week, and we're living it right now.
How long does it take for a player to get cleared once they've been sort of tabbed through contact tracing? How long are they not necessarily out because of that?
Contact tracing is 14 days. What's the kink in it is the antibody testing, which any kid that tested positive for that then has to do all the EKG testing. So they had to get cleared from a cardiologist before they can play as well. So we're still waiting on a number of kids in that category.
I know on the radio show last week you mentioned there was kind of a hiccup with that forced you to change the practice schedule. What was the situation there, and how did you have to alter what you wanted to do?
That's exactly what it was. It was when we found out how many of our kids had the antibodies. We had to go set up all those cardiologists. So therefore, we made Thursday a walk and Friday a practice, so we could get all those kids, because they could do a walkthrough. They just couldn't do a practice. So at least I got them a walk. And we were hoping that and most of the kids were cleared, but some were not. So they're still out. But we got some of them back for that Friday practice as well. So does that make sense what I'm saying? Because it was a walkthrough, they could go out there and do a walkthrough.
Is that because the issue is, like, if there's any lingering effects that might be problematic if they were to try to go at full speed, or is that the reason that they'd be cleared for that but not a normal practice?
No, it's just because they test positive for the antibodies, they have to go get an EKG. So doing a walkthrough, you're just out, you're standing there. So that allowed them to do that and then go get their test done that afternoon. The ones that didn't clear that were not allowed to practice, obviously Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. We still don't have them, and we're waiting for those kids still.
So is this week's practice schedule going to be relatively normal, or do you have to make major adjustments for those same reasons?
Every day is a new day. I mean, seriously, you make a different practice schedule every day. You just do what you can do, Greg. Whoever can improvise, adapt, and overcome the best will be the one that has the most success this year. And it's all a mindset. Is this an opportunity, or is this adversity? And Coach Spavital is dealing with the exact same things we are. Might be in different positions, might be less kids, might be more kids. I don't know. We just have to look at it that way, that we're all dealing with the same stuff, and is this going to be an opportunity, or is this going to be some adversity? We're choosing to look at it as an opportunity.
One of sort of the conversations within the last couple of weeks along these lines has been, at what point are the rosters too depleted to continue going forward with the game? Where do you sort of stand on that? Is there like a number that you would look at to say we would have to postpone, or what metrics would you use to make that call?
Come on. I mean, you can still play both ways. There's a lot of things you can do to still play football. I mean, you got to be simple. Your schemes have to be able to allow third string and fourth string kids that are not getting a lot of reps to go play. Now, it might not be to the standard that the media or fans are used to. It's going to be maybe sloppier. But these are Division I athletes that all played both ways in high school. Most of them did. At some point along the way, they played on the other side of the ball. And we moved kids around this week that were playing offense. They're playing defense now. I think Coach Spavital had to play some offensive guys on the defensive line Saturday. That's what I've been told. It's just as long as you just don't get like absolutely depleted, you should be able to play a game.
Do you spend a lot of time in practice sort of cross-training guys and working them at different positions to be ready for this?
Yeah, they're all snapping. We got center snapping, guard snapping, tackle snapping. We got people punting. At least I kind of know where I am right now, Greg. But imagine if Friday somebody tests positive, and you already got the group before that. That's where it could get a little tricky. So I don't know what that number is, Greg, but in the past, I mean, if somebody got hurt, it's possible you could lose 4 kids to an injury the day before the game. That's possible. Mm-hmm. So I think you just had to have the mindset we're playing, and we got to figure it out.
Did you make it through camp without any significant injuries, like in the traditional sense, like in knees and elbows and that kind of stuff?
No, sir. We had some kids that got injured.
Any that are going to be like season long or anything super impactful that we can share with us?
We're not sure yet. We think all of them will be back at some point.
Got it.
Anything else for Coach?
That's not true. Jamal Sam is out for the year. We know that factually, so I apologize for that. Jamal's out with a back injury.
Thank you.
All right, if there's not anything else for Coach, we'll let him go. Thanks, everyone.
Appreciate you.
Thanks, Jeff.
Man, thank y'all. See y'all Saturday.
See ya.
I guess I'll see y'all before then, but Saturday for sure.
Hope so.
Yeah.
Talk soon.